Season 2, Episode 5. This is the Off the Dome podcast, Baller Nation. How's everybody doing today? It is Sunday, the 20th of December, 5 days until Christmas. The NBA season starts in 2 days. Holy shit, we are 2 days away from the beginning of the NBA season. A lot of stuff has happened over the past really 24 hours across the NBA. Okay, maybe not a lot of stuff, but some new stuff that I'd like to talk about. Let's see what we got today on the menu. Contracts. We just had a big one signed. Rudy Gobert. I'm going to be going over the top 5 largest contracts in NBA history. There is definitely an imposter among them. But yeah, I mean, NBA players are getting paid whether they deserve it or not, it seems, these days. We've got some more, an interesting story about Giannis Antetokounmpo, and we're going to be going over some of the dubs of the day and some of the L's of the day. That's something that I kind of want to incorporate, maybe. I don't know. Let me know you guys' thoughts. And again, if y'all want me to talk about anything, just shoot me a DM. I respond to all those, everything. Yeah. If you're not already, subscribe. What's up? And let's get fucking going. And share this too. If you're enjoying this and you think that one of your friends should also see this, share it. Let's go. Let's start about let's talk about contracts for a second here. Contracts again, they are like literally is getting out of hand to a point where players who don't deserve big ass contracts are getting ridiculously high contracts. I'm talking about Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert earlier this morning signed a $205 million deal for 5 years. That's ridiculous to the Utah Jazz. Listen, I think Rudy Gobert is one of the most underrated players in the NBA. Okay, maybe not one of the most underrated players. I think he is very underrated. He's one of the most hated players in the NBA. We've known that for quite a while, and especially since the whole coronavirus thing. When people think he gave the league coronavirus, there was probably people who had coronavirus before Rudy Gobert did. And when you think about it, the fact that Gobert got coronavirus and got the league shut down meant that less players would end up getting it, because if they never, I don't blame him. If anything, Rudy Gobert if anything, Rudy Gobert helped the NBA with the coronavirus thing. Okay, I'm just saying, because it got shut down sooner, and and once the NBA shut down, the whole fucking country shut down. That was really the beginning of it. The NBA shut down, then the fucking NHL shut down, and baseball was it. Once the NBA shut down, everything shut down, and that was safer for everybody, I think. But holy shit, let me go over real quick the 5 largest contracts in NBA history. Okay, 5 largest contracts in NBA history. Let's see if you can find the imposter. Coming in at number 5, we got 2 players, Anthony Davis and Klay Thompson, at a $190 million deal. These are not. Let me actually restart that real quick. The 5 largest contracts in NBA history. There's one imposter among them. This is not adjusted for inflation. Okay, so I'm not adjusting any of Michael Jordan's contracts for inflation. These are just like the largest sum of money. At number 5, Anthony Davis and Klay Thompson getting $190 million. At number 4, Steph Curry getting $201 million. At number 3, Rudy Gobert getting $205 million. $205 million. At number 2, Russell Westbrook getting 207, and number 1, Giannis Antetokounmpo getting 222. The 5 largest contracts in NBA history. At number 5, AD and Klay. At number 4, Steph Curry. At number 3, Rudy fucking Gobert. At number 2, Russell Westbrook, and at number 1, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Find the imposter. Which one do you think doesn't deserve that contract? For me, I personally think it's Rudy Gobert. Personally, I think it's Rudy Gobert. Klay Thompson shouldn't be on this list. He should not be. And when you look at it, I mean, obviously nothing you can do about injuries. Okay. It's unlikely with the injuries, but Golden State, they fucked that up. They really fucked that up. First of all, I think we can all agree that Klay Thompson's not worth $190 million. He should not be on this list. This list should be made up of guys like Giannis, LeBron. I'm surprised LeBron James isn't on here. But yeah, Rudy Gobert getting a massive, massive contract. Let's just say this: the fact that he is the fact that Rudy Gobert has just signed the 3rd largest deal in NBA history at $205 million over the course of 5 years makes him now extremely overpaid, but still very underrated. Okay, people discredit a lot of Rudy Gobert's value to the Utah Jazz simply because they don't like the guy. Let's be real. People don't like Rudy Gobert, so they think he's trash, or they think he's overrated, or they think he doesn't deserve to win the awards that he's won. The fact is, with Rudy Gobert, I think he's very underrated, but he's extremely overpaid. There's no getting past that. Anyway, that's my little Rudy Gobert thing right there. And I love Rudy Gobert. He's one of my favorite players. Not gonna lie, probably because he's French. But still, I mean, you gotta love the defensive players in the NBA. Giannis Antetokounmpo said something pretty interesting. He compared the fact that he compared his early playoff struggles in his career to those of Michael Jordan's when he was first entering the league. I'll pull up the exact quote here real quick. Shout out to HoopsView on Instagram who posted this, brought this to my attention. Giannis said, and I quote, "Michael Jordan got into the playoffs and he got hurt, he got eliminated, he was disappointed, he went through the struggles. It's gonna take time." Now, Giannis saying that, I love that he said that, and I agree with him. Okay, Michael Jordan went through struggles similar to what Giannis Antetokounmpo is going, in that an extremely talented player with a lot of potential and a lot of height, but not being able to get over that playoff hump. The one difference I would say, apart from Michael Jordan's rookie year, is MJ's going up against way tougher competition than Giannis Antetokounmpo is, with, you could argue, a worse team. The Bucks are great. The Bucks are great. You know, they got another All-Star. MJ is all by himself. This is another reason why Michael Jordan is 1-9 without Scottie Pippen in the playoffs. You look at the teams that Michael Jordan is playing on and the teams that he's playing against. Michael Jordan getting eliminated in the playoffs in his second year while playing on an injury and going up against Larry Bird, Bill Walton, Kevin McHale, Dennis Johnson, and Robert Parrish, 5 Hall of Famers on the same team. That's a little bit different than Giannis Antetokounmpo losing to Kawhi Leonard and Kyle Lowry and Pascal Siakam. Just a little different. But still, the principle still remains the same. Of course, it's unfair to compare Giannis to Michael Jordan. You can't do that. And the other team, MJ really only lost to the Boston Celtics, who had 5 Hall of Famers, and the Bad Boy Pistons, who made up the fucking Jordan rules, were the toughest team in NBA history, and tried to hurt the motherfucker night in and night out. That's who he lost to. And he lost to the Cavs, I think, in his rookie year. The Cavs still had, I think the Cavs had a few good players. He lost to the Milwaukee Bucks in his first year with Sidney Moncrief. But Giannis is right. It takes time. All superstars lose, or the majority of NBA greats go through tough struggles in the playoffs before they before they take everything together and they go out and win an NBA championship. You look at pretty much any, with the exception of, I'd say, probably Magic Johnson and Bill Russell, I would say that every single NBA legend has gone through a lot of heartbreak and a lot of playoff disappointment before they were able to win an NBA championship. Michael Jordan, all those years against the Celtics and the Bad Boy Pistons, even the Milwaukee Bucks in his rookie year. Obviously, LeBron James. Now LeBron made an NBA Finals in 2007. He got swept, but after that, between 2007 and even up to 2012, LeBron James, he was always expected to go to the NBA Finals. He was always expected, and he would go up against the Celtics. He'd lose to the Orlando Magic. Once he got to the Finals, he lost to the Dallas Mavericks. He went through a lot of tough times before he was eventually able to win an NBA championship. Okay, all superstars, all NBA greats, with the exception of, I'd say, Bill Russell, Magic Johnson, off the top of my head, have gone through a lot of playoff struggles and a lot of heartbreak in the playoffs before they were eventually able to win an NBA championship. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, obviously Will Chamberlain went through all that stuff. Giannis Antetokounmpo is going through that right now. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's got all-time great potential. He truly does. I truly believe that. He has all-time great potential. And Tim Duncan's another one. Tim Duncan, the minute he came into the league, he was winning Finals MVPs. Big ups to Tim Duncan for that. But guys like and Larry Bird, to less of an extent, he never quite had the same expectation in the 80s because the Lakers were so good. But you look at the Kareems of the world, the Oscar Robertsons of the world, literally just going through the top five. Shaquille O'Neal. I'm not saying he's top five all time, but Shaquille O'Neal in Orlando, he made the NBA Finals. He had some tough outs with the Lakers. Kobe Bryant as well. Kobe Bryant won pretty early, but remember, Kobe Bryant, he choked a lot. It was the one series against the Utah Jazz when he airballed that three-pointer, and he went through that. Of course, he didn't have a lot. Kobe Bryant didn't have a lot of expectation going into it, but I would say really, more often than not, NBA legends go through a lot of playoff heartbreak and a lot of disappointment in the playoffs before they are able to finally break through and win an NBA championship. I'd say the only exceptions are guys like Tim Duncan, guys like Magic Johnson, guys like Bill Russell. It's very rare. It's very rare. I'd say Kobe Bryant, but Kobe Bryant really wasn't as big of a young prodigy as Magic Johnson was. You know, Kobe Bryant really turned into the Kobe Bryant a few years in. Okay, he wasn't drafted as high as they were. All right, but you look at guys like MJ, LeBron, Shaquille O'Neal, Will Chamberlain. They all went through that stage where they couldn't get a team. They couldn't get past the team. LeBron couldn't get past the Celtics. He couldn't get past the Magic. But once he did, he went out and did great things. Michael Jordan, he couldn't beat the Boston Celtics, who had 5 Hall of Famers. He couldn't beat the Bad Boy Pistons. But once he did, he went out and did great things. So that's my thoughts on that, on Giannis Antetokounmpo, saying that his playoff struggles are similar to Michael Jordan's, and I agree. I mean, I gotta agree with him. All the greats go through it, and Giannis at the end of the day, I think, will be a great in a few years from now. Today I'm saying this podcast episode isn't gonna be a very long episode. I'm gonna go quickly through the dubs of the day and the L's of the day. 3 dubs and 2 L's. And that should pretty much wrap things up. Of course, once the season gets going, once we get cooking, boys, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be fucking hype. I genuinely can't wait for the NBA season to start going. Dubs of the day, Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert took a big dub today. Somehow, Rudy Gobert finessed his way into the 3rd largest contract in NBA history. The 3rd largest contract in NBA history, weighing in at 5 years, $205 million for the Utah Jazz. That's got to be more than they paid Carmelo. That's got to be more than they paid that entire 1998 Utah Jazz team combined. I don't know the exact facts on that, but I got a feeling, or at least Carmelo and John Stockton, and probably Havlicek too. Rudy Gobert, I don't know how the fuck he did that, but he finessed his way in there. Shout out De'Aaron Fox. An ESPN analyst said that De'Aaron Fox was an ESPN analyst said that Ja Morant is what De'Aaron Fox wishes he was. De'Aaron Fox responds by saying, "Boy's a bitch, and everyone can tell him I said that." That's got to be a dub. Shout out De'Aaron Fox. I mean, you got to put some respect on my man's name. If the media hyped up De'Aaron Fox the same way they hype up Ja Morant, I mean, we'd be talking about like a young D Rose 2.0, just not as good. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that he's as good as young D Rose was, of course not. But he's got that same kind of athleticism. Maybe like to a lesser degree. You know what I mean? And obviously, he's not carrying his team to the NBA playoffs. Jrue Holiday. Shout out to him. He's donating the remainder of his 2020 salary to small businesses. Big shout out to Jrue Holiday. There are only like 11 days left in the year, but still, that's more than I'm donating to small businesses. So I'm not gonna say shit. L's of the day. People, teams, things that took L's today. I just said that Rudy Gobert took a dub today by finessing his way into the 3rd largest contract in NBA history. I'm going to say the Utah Jazz took a big L today by paying their center $205 million over the course of 5 years. The 3rd largest contract in NBA history. I've said that a lot over the course of this podcast. But again, Giannis, Russell Westbrook, Stephen Curry, Anthony Davis, and Rudy Gobert. Those are the 5 highest paid players in NBA history. There is one imposter, and he's French. L's of the day, again, the Golden State Warriors did not sign Jeremy Lin on time. This isn't really an L for the Golden State Warriors, or really Jeremy Lin. He probably doesn't really care. But for the NBA, this is a big L. This is a big L. We really want to see Jeremy Lin playing in the NBA. Remember, last time we saw Jeremy Lin playing in the NBA, he fucked around and won an NBA championship with the Toronto Raptors. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, not a fat big episode. Wasn't really a lot to get into. I mean, like there hasn't been a lot of news over the past 24 hours really. But as we get closer to the season and as the James Harden trades, the trade rumors for James Harden start heating up, that's gonna be pretty interesting. Yeah, preseason's all done. Preseason is all finished, all completed. We've just got opening day, and I'll preview probably that opening day either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in to episode 5 of the Off the Dome podcast. Hit subscribe if you would like. Share this with people. Leave a like. All that good stuff. I appreciate, genuinely appreciate all y'all. And yeah, shoot me a DM. Any requests or suggestions that you would like to see on this show, I will respond. I respond to all my DMs. I always will. And yeah, Mike Dean, Kanye, take him to church one time.
Let me get more volume.